Edward's parents, Happy New Year! I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. It is hard to believe that we are in full swing of 2021. The Parents Association ended the year with our ornament and spirit shirt fundraisers. We were very pleased with how they went and thank all of you for supporting them. The Parents Association Board is looking forward to kicking the year off with our annual trunk show. As we return to campus, the school made a difficult yet wise decision. In keeping the safety of our students, faculty, and staff, along with our Vero Beach community in mind, the school has made a decision to cancel the in-person trunk show this year. The good news is that we are underway in preparing a virtual shopping experience with the vendors that were scheduled to participate. The virtual trunk show will take place February 21st through the 28th. As information becomes available, the PA will be passing it along. I would like to personally thank our trunk show chair, Kendra Brown, who put her heart and soul into planning the trunk show despite the many uncertainties. I assure you, there is nothing more that we wanted but to see all of your smiling faces and hear the laughter of shopping with friends on campus. I know how much I look forward to the trunk show, and I'm excited to launch the first ever virtual one. In keeping with the tradition of our January meeting being middle school focused, I would like to now turn it over to the head of the middle school, Mrs. Murphy. She will be speaking about advocacy and introducing Mrs. Sherrier, the new middle school art teacher.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be with you here today to talk with you about middle school. My name is Keira Murphy. I'm head of middle school. I've been head of middle school here at St. Edward's School for 10 years. And today we're going to be talking with Ms. Marie Mahovitz, who is the counselor for both middle school and the lower school. And so we wanted to be able to give you a little bit of information about what we're doing together, the projects that we're working on together, and how that can impact your kids. So I hope you enjoy. We are also going to be talking with a new middle school teacher, our art teacher, Eliza Sherrier, after we're done with Ms. Mahovitz. So thank you so much for being here. We're in the art studio here. Well, it's one of my favorite places to be because I can come in and I can see the students working and being creative, and Eliza is awesome. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about a specific project that you and I have been talking about for quite a while, for about a year and a half now that you've been here. Yeah. So it's great that you've been here for so long. But I want to talk about advisory programs and really how important they are to middle school. They're important to all schools, but particularly to independent middle schools, and really why we do it, why it's important, how the kids can benefit, and how really the entire school community can benefit from advisory programs. So first, I'd like to tell the audience just a little bit about what advisory programs are and also why they're important. And they're so important, actually, that the NAIS, which is the National Association of Independent Schools, has a document that's called the Principles of Good Practice for Middle School Educators. And I just printed this off because I wanted to reiterate how integral advisory programs are to middle schools in particular. So even in the very first point for this Principles of Good Practice, NAIS says that programs in the middle school should support each student's need to develop a distinct self-concept and to be recognized as an individual and as a member of a group. So obviously that's outside of a math classroom, outside of the purview of an English or a science program necessarily, but because we're a small school with teachers that coach and teach and interact in the hallway, it's really important that our teachers are advisors as well. Mm-hmm. So can you tell us a little bit about what we have planned and the kinds of things that you are leading for the middle school advisory program?
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. So the advisory program that we have at St. Edward's has been kind of developing over the years, and I've been so excited to be more involved with it this year. And as you said, our teachers are the advisors. So there are select teachers in each grade within the middle school that are also play the advisor role. And the advisor role really allows these discussions to build, to not only foster relationships between each of the students as a group, but also with their advisor, so that they have another advocate within this school that can also communicate with you, with the dean, and with me as the counselor.
Because we all have to work together.
Exactly. We're creating a community where the students feel welcome, they feel as though they have people to go to, and that they have things in common with each other. They're all going through middle school, and it's hard.
Yeah.
So some of those lessons, they actually come from a program called Cultures of Dignity, which is created by Rosalind Wiseman. Some of you may remember that she came to campus to speak a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think about 3 years ago.
About 3 years ago. And she created this organization called Cultures of Dignity, and we use a curriculum called Owning Up from Cultures of Dignity. And some of the lesson options that the teachers get to utilize during these advisory lessons are things like navigating friendships. What makes me a good friend? What kind of friend do I want to look for? Or coping skills. How do I understand my emotions, and how do I work through those emotions? And so on and so forth. Just things that are really trying to build that self-concept that we are just valuing from those NAIS concepts.
Right.
So,
and something that I know about Owning Up is that it's a series of lessons that can be used from 6th grade all the way through 8th grade. So it's not that the students are doing the same thing every year over and over again, but they are developmentally appropriate and tiered or leveled so that they are appropriate for 6th grade, then there's some for 7th grade, and then for 8th grade as well. So we really do have the ability to reach everybody at their developmental stage.
Absolutely. And the advisors, because they get this opportunity to really bond with whatever group they have of that grade level students, they can figure out what that group of students might need to know a little bit about. If they're kind of having some friendship issues at that time of the year, that's the lesson that they can choose. They have that flexibility, they have that autonomy to make it the best suited for the advisory group that they're working with.
Right, absolutely. If we go down a little bit more on the good practice list, it says also that this approach, this advisory approach, to have time set aside specifically for advisory activities, should promote issues of sustainability and a better understanding of students' roles in an interconnected and global society. So it is really important for them to understand that they are a unique individual, they are part of a small group, and they're part of a larger community. And I think that's something that we do really well here at St. Edward's School is help students understand their place in their small classes, in their divisions, and as a school as a whole.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about that. Now the students are going to be doing these lessons throughout the rest of the spring?
Yes, basically. So each grade has a specific date set out. There are 4 dates for each 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade advisory group. And so they'll have 4 of those opportunities to open that door to a new discussion, a new topic that they can continue to learn about as the year progresses. And building on what you just said, I think that what an opportunity to remind them how connected we all are in the kind of world that we're living in right now. So
and that they have people that they can trust and to use as mentors or sounding boards, because you as a counselor, have a really unique role here as well, that you are able to talk to them and take them outside maybe of their group or what's going on with them right now, and really kind of get down to the core of what's going on, and then be able to build them right back up.
Absolutely.
And so that's great.
Yeah.
So we're so thankful that you're here. You've done a great job. I look forward to working with you more.
Thank you.
And we're going to head off and talk with Eliza Sherrier here in just a minute, another great new faculty member that we have here on campus. So thank you so much, Maureen.
thank you.
Meeting. I wish so much that we could be together, but I know that having some information out there, at least in this January meeting that's focused on middle school, is better virtually than none at all. So I'm excited to be here and to talk to you a little bit about the things that are going on in the middle school and to highlight some of the faculty that we have here. And so I'm so excited today to be able to highlight Ms. Eliza Sherrier, our new art teacher, who teaches both in the middle school and in the upper school. So we're excited to be here in the art space. We've got some middle school art behind us. It's such a fantastic space to be in. I love coming in here and listening to the students talk about their projects, having them problem solve. I think I'm learning more and more that art is about problem solving.
It is.
And to have them be able to figure things out on their own and be so creative, and under the tutelage of Ms. Sherrier, it's been a great experience. Hopefully a great couple of months for you.
It's been wonderful.
Cool.
It's been an awesome experience.
Well, so nice to be able to see you and to talk with you. We had, I think, a great time when we were in the interview process last spring.
We did.
And it just kind of clicked, and I think that this is probably, at least on my part, it's a really great fit for you. Hopefully it is for you as well. But I'd like for you to be able to tell people kind of a little bit about your background.
Yeah.
So tell us about where you grew up and maybe where you went to school.
So I grew up sort of outside of Pittsburgh, that area. It's a very, very small town, very snowy. So it's really nice to be down here in the heat. But I grew up in a very tiny town. I went to a very small high school. I went to college for art education. Weirdly enough, I knew that I wanted to do something with art when I was in middle school. It was really important to me then, and I kind of got into the practice then. And so I went to school actually for what I thought was going to be graphic design. And I'm very grateful for my background there. It's helped me in a lot of ways. It's helped me sort of get more tech into the classroom. It has helped me be able to kind of help out with yearbook and do those kinds of things. And so I'm really grateful for that. But when I was in school, I actually volunteered to be a teacher in my first year. And so I taught at the Salvation Army at night after I had gotten through all my classes. And I realized that collaborative space was really what I was looking for. And so I decided to go ahead and kind of get drawn into the teacher ed program, and I haven't looked back. So I studied art education, and I have a minor in English.
Was there anybody in particular that inspired you?
My mom. My mom is really wonderful. I did a yearbook interview about this, and I was talking to one of the students about it, and she asked me kind of how I got started, and I said, it was my mom. She always insisted that there were art materials around, whether it was watercolor or pastel or whatever it might be. And so she's the one who really inspired me just my entire life to be making things. And so I really look to her and I thank her for that experience. And she gave me what I hope to be able to give to our students, that ability to express themselves, to be able to, just like you said, think through complicated problems, help to manage their emotions, sort of kind of figure out who they are through that practice of art making.
Well, please thank her for me as well.
Will do. Okay. I thank her constantly.
Well, I know that you've had several years of teaching in your school in Pennsylvania, but now that you're here at St. Edward's School, and I think for the first time working with middle school students.
Yes.
Tell me what has been the best experience so far of working with middle school students.
It's hard to pick. It's been an incredible experience working with them. I did a small sort of stint there in student teaching, and so I worked for a couple of weeks with some 5th and 6th graders. But it's been really inspiring to be in the studio with these kids. I taught all boys high school before this, as you know, which has its own excitement and its own joys as well. But it's really interesting to be with these younger kids because they're only about halfway through school in some cases, but they are so capable and they're also so interested. I just started clay with my 6th graders, and it is a really incredible experience.
I'm going to have to come visit.
It's awesome. We spent some time kind of talking about sculpture today and just sort of what does that look like, and they really got their hands in clay for the first time. And so that kind of stands out to me in my mind right now as just a new experience for them. They're eager to learn, they're excited to learn, and they want to know what I can teach them.
Right.
And that has been an experience that I've seen throughout the middle school, and it's wonderful to be at that foundational level with these kids. I get to see them from 6th grade through 12th grade, and so I get to really build with them and grow with them over the course of those 6 years, which has been incredible.
Well, I know that the clay project that you're doing with 6th grade is probably going to be incorporated into the global education project, right? So that will be a lot of fun as well. So you're not only here in this space, but you're also working collaboratively with other teachers, which is what middle school is all about. And so we're so happy to have you part of our team. I look forward to seeing more projects, more events as we go along, and I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much, Mrs. Murphy.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mrs. Murphy, for that peek into life in the middle school. If you have any questions about the advocacy program or the middle school art curriculum, please don't hesitate to reach out to Mrs. Murphy to continue the conversation. Our next meeting is scheduled for February 2nd, and it will include information from all 3 divisions. Thank you, and have a great day.